Well, a recent poll is highlighting concerns about President Biden's age and falling confidence among Democratic voters. We go unfiltered tonight with members of Indiana's best political team, Destiny Wells and Whitley Yates. Destiny, we'll start with you. You and I talked about this on the Politics Show this Sunday. Your thoughts on this poll?
This poll is a snapshot in time, one poll 14 months before the election. So I want to point out some numbers that aren't really that far off from the normal. You know, they said 39% of those polled, and let's just be honest, who answers these polls 14 months out? Usually partisan people, right? They're the only ones really thinking about these things. That 39% supported or were positive about President Biden's job performance. If we go back to 2011, Gallup polls around the same time, September of 2011, showed President Obama at 40%. This is not far off. Not to mention that President Biden wasn't even on the continent at the time that this poll came out. He's very busy right now. He was with the G20 summit, then India, and then Vietnam, building our international support for his foreign policy strategy. So I don't think he's really worried about polls right now. He's worried about doing his job.
Whitley, you know, we haven't heard your thoughts on this, so let's get your initial reaction to the poll.
Yeah, I think that Destiny is trying her hardest to say what most Americans really just want to say is Biden is bare minimum. He's not doing enough. His message isn't connecting. The only thing that he's really been consistent on is having low performance rates for Americans. And actually, he just slipped within his own party. So if your own party doesn't believe that you're the leader needed to take us into the future, and 60% of them believe that the policies that you created have basically taken Americans down a path of no return, that's never a good sign, whether it's a snapshot in time or indicative of the leadership that we currently have in the White House. The truth is, inflation is high, interest rates are high, housing is out of control. When you go to the grocery store, the prices of food is up, the price of utilities are up. Our economy is not in a great shape. And they're pushing Bidenomics. It's been a Biden failure. And I think that this poll is indicative of where Americans really are and how they think about the current leadership we have in the White House.
Destiny, to Whitley's point, the report says 67% of Democratic voters say someone else should be nominated.
Well, first, I would question where Whitley got her statistics and data that inflation is up. I think that is a false narrative that Republicans are really trying to push hard going into next year. And while Democrats wanted somebody else because of age, and only age, because that poll did parse out performance and they were more worried about age and vitality going forward, 82% of those people polled couldn't name anybody else specific that they wanted. They are uncomfortable about age. And I think it is very fair to say that this poll is a referendum on age. And it's just not the president's age. Donald Trump is only 4 years younger than he is. And we have issues within our Congress of legislators staying too long and not even being healthy enough to be able to hold a press conference. You know, with Biden, he has support among voters of color, college graduates, and voters younger than 35, and women, 53%. So he is holding very well within the voting blocks that we look to for next year.
Whitley, I heard you wanting to get in there. Go ahead.
It's not a referendum on age, it's a referendum on competence. When you can't hold a press conference without being confused of where you are, what you're talking about, that's an issue.
Yeah, he doesn't leave the golf course.
Hold on, I'll let you speak, reclaiming my time. When you're holding different events and press conferences and you're supposed to be informing the American people and you're so confused about what you're supposed to be informing that you just forget and walk off stage and they start music, that's the issue. It's not age, it's competence that we have an issue with. Because I'd say Nancy Pelosi is doing I'd say she's doing a great job for the people that voted her in, but she's in a better position competent-wise than President Biden. People know that there's some issues there. So you're saying it's age, but it's really competence as well as the performance or lack thereof that he has been providing.
Let's talk about your candidate then, Whitley, because we know
have a candidate. There hasn't been a primary, Destiny.
We know that your candidate right now, the former
at the
president
top of the ballot, is Nikki Haley, that is, according to the CNN poll, trying to beat President Biden.
This conversation, ladies, indicative of what we're going to see over the next year or so, huh?
Yeah, well, I want to say that this poll, we have to look at this poll, 46, 47. It's actually not a popular vote. It is an electoral college. We need to be focusing on those 7 toss-up states, of which 5 are pretty solid Biden.
And polls, we take all polls with a grain of salt. Ladies, good to see you both. Thank you so much. I look forward to more spirited debates in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.